So what is going on, guys? NandoPrince93 here with another video, and today we're going to talk about iPadOS 13.1.3. So if you guys are watching this actually came out yesterday, and I wanted to give you guys a rundown of exactly what you guys are getting yourselves into. So this is going to be a quick one. We're going to go into the settings and I'm going to show you where I'm 13.1.3, and this is just a regular public version of the software, so you don't need to be a beta developer or anything of that nature. So if you have any iPhone 6s or higher, any iPad Pro, you can just go into software updates and update your phone or your iPad from there. And just to preface this, most of the things that I'm talking about are also going to be involved in iOS 13.1.3. So if you're on an iPhone, you're gonna see very similar improvements and maybe even more on the iPhone side. So to start off, first things first, well, they're always trying to improve the modem, right? And so for my iPad use, that's not a really big deal because I only use Wi-Fi, I don't have the cellular version. But for my iPhone, I've been noticing, for instance, the other day I left work, it hopped me off the Wi-Fi, and for some reason, it showed that I had LTE bars, but no data was coming through. I couldn't watch a YouTube video, couldn't send an iMessage, to the point where I had to reset my phone to reset the modem. Usually if I just toggle airplane mode off and on, that would be the quickest fix, but it wasn't working even to that extent. So there was a solid 5 to 10 minutes where I had no data coming into my phone, and it solely had to do with the modem software and how it's utilized when switching between Wi-Fi and LTE data. So that's fix number one. Another iPhone specific fix is gonna be with the Apple Watch. Apparently a lot of people have been having issues with connecting their Apple iPhone on iOS 13 to their Apple Watch. I did have an issue with it, but I've thought, hey, this is the Apple Watch, Gen 1. This isn't even the Series 1. This came out on the first day, which is surprising because it still works perfectly. But it took a little while. It took about 2 tries. Eventually I got it to connect. I thought it was just because I had a very old Apple Watch, and I thought there was maybe some compatibility issues, but that wasn't the case. People were seeing that even trying to connect their Series 5 Apple Watches. So that's been fixed. Another big one, especially for me, because I do a lot of scheduling through email, with the native Mail app, there was an issue when you got invites, right? So like for instance, this is a mail attachment to add to your schedule or your calendar. So if you click on that, it'll just add it to your calendar, and it wasn't working, but now it is. So that's an awesome thing to see. Little improvements, that's all you're gonna see. So that's one thing that was fixed in the Mail app, which is really, really nice to see. Also, there's been a fixed issue with voice memos so let's say you switch to a new iPhone or a new iPad, and you had a bunch of voice memos saved into the cloud. iOS 13 was having a lot of issues gathering that information and re-downloading that. It would just stay in the downloading ... and nothing would ever download. So that issue's been fixed. If you work a lot with voice memos, which I really don't, or that is an issue that has been fixed. So now you have access to your old voice memos that you had before. And then another big issue was if you picked up a new iPad once iOS 13 released and you were restoring from an iCloud backup, all your information would come back onto your iPad, like contacts, your iMessage, your photos, but for some reason, the apps wouldn't load up. So usually in the normal, if you restore from iCloud, all the apps would kind of preload in an uninstalled version, and then over time, whether you're on data or Wi-Fi, it'll install each of those apps. But for some reason, with some people on iOS 13 and iPadOS 13, that wasn't the case. So you would get a bunch of your information, but then all the apps that you had before wouldn't be there. So that's an issue that's also been fixed, which I like that they touched on. And then also Bluetooth connectivity, guys. So Bluetooth connectivity has been atrocious with iPads and with iPhones on iOS 13, and I don't really know why, but all of that has been fixed. So if you use a hearing aid, if you use any Bluetooth headphones, if you use your phone or iPad, I don't know why you use your iPad, but if you connect those to your car, all of those issues have been fixed. And I heard that a lot of people, especially that own Teslas, and their iPhone is their key, they were having issues with even starting the car, which is hilarious. So those issues have been fixed and figured out. And then also another one, right? So if you play a game, for instance, I did a review on this game called Marvel Strike Force. It logs you in with Game Center, right? So hopefully it'll load up real quick. As you guys can see, Game Center loaded up right there. So before, that would take forever to load up, and I would have to wait a few minutes actually. And I mean, this is a pretty intense game, so I thought, again, hey, it's just the game that's taking forever to load. It's no big deal. But apparently, even the small games that require almost no space or compute power were taking forever to log in because of Game Center. So that issue's been fixed. But otherwise, other than those few fixes, that's all you're gonna really see from iPadOS standpoint and an iOS 13 standpoint. And just, again, little fixes to make the experience that much better. I told you guys in the previous iPadOS update that you're not gonna see any crazy changes. All the crazy changes have happened, and then hopefully iOS 14, which I'll link my wish list below if you guys wanna check that out. We'll have a bunch more improvements and make it, again, getting closer to this laptop replacement that everybody wants. So that's gonna do it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna have a series coming out really soon, which has 3 parts of my favorite hidden iOS features, or hidden iPadOS features, so stay tuned for that. And thank you so much for the support, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. Until next time, peace.